disconnect the front stock O2 narrowband sensor, which is secured to the cross member of the frame. Just going to just cut these two. And just as with the rear, we're going to lift up on the clip, work it apart, take our supplied cover, snap on there. We'll leave that up in there for now. Lubricating, light penetrating oil on the threads. Little shot there. And with it unplugged, we can now remove the narrowband stock. Inserting our tool. A little snug. Break it loose. Most of the time, once you get it loose, it'll unscrew pretty easily. To reach up in there. There you go. Got a nice wet thread. So lubricated it. Go right on and install our Thundermax wideband sensor. Okay, this is the new wideband Thundermax O2 sensor, 6-pin connector. As you've seen, it'll match up to the AUTOTUNE connector. It has a nice little cover on there. I'm going to pull the cover off. And you can see that it already comes with some anti-seize right on the threads there, so we don't have a galding problem if we ever have to remove them or if you change your exhaust pipes. Okay, we're just going to thread the wideband sensor into the stock port. It's screwed in pretty far all on its own. And just going to tighten it up. With the O2 sensor tight, just feed the wire back behind the frame, bring it out on the other side, and it'll get tied back pretty much in the same location as the stock one. We'll keep the stock lead up there. And we'll get some wire ties and tie that up. Just going to stick the wire tie back in the original hole. The other one was the stock. I'm going to make sure we capture the capped off stock wiring harness and snug it up. The original O2 sensor wire and the Thundermax O2 sensor wire. Pull our clutch cable back up into play here. Snug the wire tie up. Working really close to the transmission cover, which is chrome. Well, we don't want to mess that up, scratch it or dent it in any way. We're going to lay a shop rag, ordinary shop rag over it. And once again, give it a little squirt, WD, or some light penetrating oil. And we can go ahead and work it like we did the front one. Make sure we get that lubrication in there because it is an exhaust pipe. This one's coming out real good. And then you got your stock narrowband sensor removed. Once you remove the cap, you want to make sure that you do have the anti-seize on there. So if you ever replace the pipes and want to remove it, the 6-pin connector, we're just going to slip it right on in there. And we're just going to go ahead and install the Thundermax wideband sensor in the pipe. And snug it up just like a spark plug. About 18 foot-pounds. And the rag's no longer needed. Pull that out. And we're going to feed the plug back behind the O2 sensor. And see if I can't reach around. Pull it out to the other side. Now we're ready to move around the other side of the bike. Okay, once we get on this side of the bike, we're going to take the wire and feed it underneath of the trigger wire for the starter. Back behind the neutral light under the starter, and then once again feed the plug around the frame, come back out underneath of the Thundermax, and that's the routing for the for the rear cylinder. With the lead for the rear O2 sensor sticking out of the frame, I'm going to take the rear O2 sensor lead from the AUTOTUNE and marry them up. Just push them together, hear a distinctive click. We can just invert that, use up some of the wire, take a wire tie, dog this off a little bit. Go ahead and trim that up. And we can bring the connector around here and tie it right to the main harness. It's going into the ECU. I'll tuck it back underneath. Snug your wire tie up, and it's nice and secure. And once again, trim your wire tie. Okay, we're going to return to the front O2 sensor wire, and I'm going to take that, just feed it down. It's a pretty good size opening behind the brake pedal, and go in between the frame and the engine. Let it dangle out the bottom here. Then we'll step down here, grab our lead that we had put into place before. It's the front O2 cylinder lead. And we're going to bring the leads together, plug them in, 2 6-point. And we'll just tie it right to the original wiring harness. Slip a wire tie in between the frame and the wiring harness, and circle it back around the Thundermax wiring harness. Cinch it up. We'll put the plug itself. We got that nice and secured. On the frame, the wiring harness is tied to the frame pretty well from the factory. On back, tying it off to the wiring harness occasionally. Get it nice and secure so it's not flapping around. That's about all you need underneath. Then we'll come up here, the O2 leads coming up behind here. We just want to capture the wiring harness, cinch it up, snip it off. Can't get a wire tie around this front O2 sensor wire.